We can go back to the floor now. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I have a question. As what Mr. Sahi said, so I'll stick to the topic.
Thank you.
We had Sir Don Bradman and we had no technology. And now when we have technology, we have no Sir Don Bradman. So your views on it?
No, I think, I never saw Don Bradman live. What I can certainly say is I saw Tendulkar live. And I think thanks to technology, all of us also had the privilege of watching him. I had the privilege and honor to, play alongside with him and share our careers over 18 years. There's always one talent that comes through in a lifetime, and I was privileged to have that kind of a talent in my team. It would have been a nightmare if I had to think every test match that I had to bowl at a Tendulkar, in a test match. So that was something that, but let me tell you, what I have read about Sir Don Bradman is that he was very innovative. He used to play with a golf ball and with a stick. And that's how he got his batting really, toughened. And then that's how he middled every ball that he played. So innovation is not just about technology. I think innovation is about being ahead of the game. And irrespective of which century or which, platform you come from, if you want to be ahead of the game, then you have to constantly innovate and constantly be up against any of your peers or any of your competitors. And technology and television and with new mobiles and constant feeds that you get through internets, we are able to be fortunate enough to see these kind of great players on television and understand their game, and then understand how simple their game is. I mean, if you looked at Tendulkar, he hardly moves when the bowler is actually bowled the ball. If you see a still photograph of a Sachin facing a fast bowler, he wouldn't have even moved his feet. But if you look at my photograph of a batting photograph of when a fast bowler is bowling, probably I would have moved 5 times before the balls come. And that's why I was hopeless with the bat.
But you got a test 100.
Yeah, that was thanks to experience and data.
Hi. I just want to ask, since we are here talking about the sport cricket, there's been an IPL verdict. So do you think whatever has happened, just one thing,
Excuse me, please.
has it tarnished the image of the game overall?
No, I think let's stick to, obviously as a cricketer, it's, important that the image of the game is paramount. And for me as a cricketer, cricket is above all individuals. And I think let's stick to that. And regarding the verdict and all this, I think we can, talk about it at a later stage.
Thank
not
you.
at this forum.
Yeah,
One
I
more
have one
and
question.
then...
Can I ask?
Okay. This
Being-
gentleman first.
Yes.
He was...
With engineering background, what re-engineering process you have adopted to lead your team?
No, I did use my engineering through my career, but by the time I got my captaincy, I think I had forgotten engineering. This is on a very lighter note, because I had already played 17 years of my cricket, and engineering was 15 years old. All the engineering that I studied, but I did re-engineer myself as an individual, because constantly I was told that I didn't spin the ball and I was not good outside of India, and I was not capable, and all sorts of things. So I had to constantly get better, and I had to re-engineer myself. And one of the things that I did learn was, I used to play a lot of tennis ball cricket growing up. And I used to squeeze the ball and then bowl. And that was one of the ways that I then, in the later 90s and early 2000, that's one of the balls that I started developing with 3 fingers, and then started bowling googlies. And that gave me a lot of edge, and then got me a lot of wickets. As far as team dynamics go, certainly one of the things that we did when I was not the captain, but we initiated that, was sometime in South Africa, when we had a poor result in the first 3 or 4 games that we played in the one-day series, and then immediately after that was the test match. So we had to get the team together. And the only way that we could get the team together was to involve not just the seniors, but also the junior players amongst the team. So one of the innovative things that we did was that we identified the key players, not necessarily the senior players, even the junior players and the not so junior, not so senior players, identified them and then gave them a 20-minute task every day. A physical task that they would be the leaders at, and all of us would follow. That meant that it was a HR exercise, basically to involve all of them and then bring them into the scheme of things, which I thought worked well, because then before that, when things are going wrong, invariably if you do not get the younger lot to contribute, they go outside and then start talking amongst themselves. But after this exercise, it was very clear that exercise had worked, because after that, immediately when we sat around in a team meeting, every single individual started talking as to what we need to do, where we should get better at, what as an individual I can do better, what is the team that we can, what are the things that we can do to get better as a team. I think that was a challenge at that point in time, and I thought that kind of an innovative exercise certainly re-engineered the team and the huddle itself. I mean, if you look at the huddle that the team now follows as a ritual more than a re-engineered process. It was started in 2003 just to showcase to the opposition that, look, as a team, we are all together on the field, and whatever strategies were made in the dressing room was just reiterated. If it was just one person saying, look, this is what we spoke about, let's do this. Those kind of things, reiteration, certainly helped when we got into a huddle.